Hey, how's it going everybody? List of Legends here. I got more Total Drama content for you right here, right now, which if you didn't read the title, hey, that's okay. We're going to be listing the top 8 Total Drama characters that had wasted potential. Which unfortunately, there's no shortage of wasted potential in this franchise. Honestly, you could count the entire season of All-Stars if you really wanted to. But I already made a 3-part series about fixing Total Drama All-Stars already. Which definitely check that out if you haven't seen it already. And I also want to mention that all the characters I'm about to say all have wasted potential, so try not to picture the gap between our number 1 and number 8 spot to be trillions of miles apart, when they're really not. They all have wasted potential in my opinion, of course. But without further ado, be sure to click that like and subscribe button so I know you like my content. Without further interruptions, let's begin. Starting our list off at a number 1 spot, we have B from Revenge of the Island, and I really felt like he was a wasted character. I actually like the whole aspect of his no-talk shtick, and it's something we haven't really seen before. Now, I'm well aware that you need characters to be pawns in a sense to further other characters in the game, but they could still do it in a way where we get to see more of these characters before any eliminations. I mean, why do you think World Tour and Island worked so well? They have a longer episode format. Plus, World Tour had non-elimination rounds. I think we can all agree at the very least 13 episodes isn't diddly squat. We need time to get to know these characters. At least Action had the Aftermath show. All-Stars, Pocket Tale, and Revenge of the Island, you don't give us anything. They literally gave us nothing, guys. So could you imagine what they could have done with B, bro? Like, seriously. Now, I'm not trying to dive into total fanfiction, I swear. I'm not, but they could have done so much with him. The dude was smart enough to build a literal rocket couch, then he figured out how to melt the other team's ice castle with, ice mirrors and stuff. Like, come on, you're telling me he couldn't figure out a way to get back at Scott? Now, I know they were trying to build Scott up as this unstoppable antagonist, but they shouldn't let B go down that easy. They could have done some back and forth drama. I mean, that's what the show is called, right? Total drama, so make some more drama, spice things up a bit. Have Scott stir up more trouble, not just all at once, actually build up to it. Then B comes in and saves the day. But Scott is like, well then, I guess I'll have to tweak my plan a little bit. Have his team wonder who's the true villain, Scott or B. Especially if they don't want B to communicate at all, his team would be completely in the dark. So they'd have to do some actual detective work on if the mysterious silent Beverly is the evil mastermind or Scott. They don't all want to eliminate B because of his high intelligence for winning challenges, but on the other hand, is he an evil mastermind like Heather was? Is he manipulating people in the shadows? Is he truly the evil one Scott says he is? So the angle I'm trying to go for here is kind of like in World Tour where Alejandro was the true villain, not Heather, but replace them with Scott and B, except this time B is the good one, but doesn't talk. While Scott talks still, but he tries to ruin B behind his back, kind of thing. Obviously, with all this in mind, they'd have to make the season a lot longer. I don't know, man. I have a lot of ideas on B. Maybe give him, Batman mysterious aura. It all would be great. You know what? I don't care. For real, man. I want it all. The full fan fiction package delivered to my front porch. Bring it now. Speaking of auras, let's get into our number 2 spot, which is Dawn. Now, I've been guilty about gassing up Dawn in the past, and I even put her on my top 8 most underrated Total Drama characters list. But I've changed my mind a bit since then. I think Dawn's an okay character, for sure, but she doesn't really do anything in Revenge of the Island. She mostly sits with the trees and reads people's auras. Now, what they could have done instead is have her see the good in B, when everyone else is unsure at this point because of Scott trying to eliminate him. So Dawn could be his only ally in a sense. So it all could make for some really nice subplots with their alliance. So now you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone, giving B and Dawn their untapped potential, making them use 100% of their power instead of 1%. Number 3 is Noah, another pretty intelligent fellow on our list. Now with Noah, he's a little more complicated because in Island they essentially treat him as comical relief in a sense, with him just reading during the entire dodgeball tournament, which then leads into his elimination, which he should have been full aware that he was going to be eliminated, but instead he acts all surprised when Chris hands Lindsay the final marshmallow. Now I love Island a lot, but it would have been great for them to add more threats besides Mean Queen Heather, and I feel Noah could have been all that. He could use more manipulative tactics with his big brain power, stuff straight out of Jimmy Neutron, man.
Got a blast!
Since he has such a big bond with Owen, he could be the start of this. So this time he would basically be Scott in a sense, and is actually the villain, so you know, it could work. Now I'm not saying have him overthrow Heather or anything like that, just have him play things more to his advantage, but also making him see his friendship with Owen as a way to keep him from going over the edge in a sense. So he's not evil or anything like that, he's just a master manipulator but with redeeming qualities. So he makes it pretty far ultimately for him to be of course taken down by Heather. Obviously Action, you know, he doesn't compete, but if he did, I think it would be pretty cool, you know, he could be on the Killer Grip side with Owen, both have their alliance against the much better antagonist god Justin, who, spoiler, well, get into a bit later on this list, but as of for Noah, it would stir a lot of things up on the Killer Grip side. Who knows, maybe he can knock some sense into Trent so it makes their team have actual drama, and not the whole Trent going bonkers about the number 9. I mean, Gwen and Heather had the whole Lashana thing going on for them on the Gaffer side, but the Killer Grips didn't have much of anything. So with that said, I'd have Noah keep his alliance with Owen and maybe Trent against Justin, Beth, and Lindsay. Then when Courtney returns, the whole team gets into a bit of a pickle. So overall, I'd have him get far in Action. I don't know if I'd go as far to put him in the finale against Duncan, because that would basically be Brains versus Bronze, which we already saw in Revenge of the Island. World Tour, not much else to say. I think his elimination there was fine, and there's no reason to change it. But Island in Action, 100% he could have done some major damage. Halfway on our list we have Harold, and this one is mostly about the finale. Harold is another character I really wish would have replaced Beth for the final two. The rivalry of Duncan the Delinquent against Harold the Geeky Dork with incredible skills could have made for an epic finale. I mean, maybe have Harold play Duncan to an alliance, then betray him, causing the two to make it all the way to the finale. Let's not forget, Lashana did try to set something like this up already. And remember, Harold is crafty enough. Remember when he cheated Courtney in Island? So you know, I'm just saying, we could have saw some more action in Action. So at least with Harold, he's not as weak as Cameron. He does have his moments of showing off his skills, his dodgeball tournament win being a prime example of that. Another cool thing about this is Courtney wants Duncan to win, and Lashana wants Harold to win, so maybe the two of them could try to rig the finale challenges or something. And that could be a highlight of the episode instead of Chef and Chris's feud, so you know, it could work. It's not something too far-fetched either, since we've seen cheating in challenges before. I mean, literally, Harold cheated Courtney, so you know, anything is possible. Another scenario I have is maybe Harold and Duncan are close to finishing the final challenge. Both of them are at their breaking point. Harold comes in and says, you know, let's put this behind us and split the money, only for Harold to run up and score the W at the last second, telling Duncan he doesn't owe him anything. It would definitely cause so much more drama, especially when they return in World Tour, so you know, maybe that's something they could exploit. Obviously, the same could go for Duncan in the alternate ending, so you know, that's my take on what they could do. With Harold have him battle with Duncan in the finale of Action, then have him lose, followed by that drama returning in World Tour, so that way it's still tension for both sides, if you wanted Duncan to win, that is. At the very end of the day, I think we can all agree on this. The rivalry of Duncan and Harold is much, much better than Beth. Like, come on, man. Number 5 is Courtney. I've said countless times already, I feel Courtney has been robbed of a win so many times. She gets decently far, then she gets eliminated. She too could have battled it out with Duncan in the finale or even against Harold by using Duncan and eliminating him, if they really wanted to push her turning into a new Heather, so to speak. All-Stars especially, there was so much more potential. It's almost like they wanted to throw her character away. She could have accomplished so much. Remember all the talk of her being a CIT? Well, use it. When I saw Courtney and Gwen being friends again, I thought it was going to be the only good thing about All-Stars. But then they ruined that by having her reveal her plan to use everyone, which gets her eliminated very shortly after, thanks to Mal. If they really want to keep Courtney like this, maybe reveal this plan way earlier on and let it build up, because it came completely out of nowhere and was so undeserved. All-Stars, I could genuinely see her making it all the way to the finale and battling Zoe or Mike, or hey, even Scott for the million. Which now let's talk about Mike, since he's at our number 6 spot. The idea of Mike having an evil personality could have worked, but they just executed it very poorly. All he does is break stuff, and the writers make everyone else completely stupid so that he makes it automatically to the finale and gets all his personalities erased. Or what they should have done instead was expand on the lore of Duncan knowing him from Juvie, explaining all what Mal is like so they figure out Mal much earlier on. We also need to give Mal some sort of goal on why he's evil, because that's all he was in All-Stars. Evil for the sake of being evil. What that goal is, I'll leave it to you guys in the comments. Why do you think Mal is evil? What's his goal? Leave me your thoughts down below. Anyways, Mal could have been the ultimate total drama villain, if they did it right. So have Duncan and the others find out about Mal way earlier on than they did. All his personalities have to fight off Mal, and during that time, Mike has to make a choice to sacrifice himself in the game. Like he votes himself off to not let Mal win in a sense, which then gives him and the other personalities the strength to take him down. Alejandro can also play a role in this as well with the DVD, coupled with Duncan's knowledge of Mal. Then the new finale could be Courtney versus Zoe, or Scott versus one of the two. Honestly, whatever works. But overall to me, that's another way they could have dealt with Mal. As for his potential as a villain, have him talk out his actual schemes in the confessional, saying why he's evil, use new tactics to get farther, since it's been clear that he knows about how things went in previous seasons. Since we see Mal tell Alejandro he's the most manipulative player in Total Drama history. With this knowledge of previous seasons, Mal could use all of this to his advantage. At least at that point, he can stand out to the previous Total Drama villains. Then we can see an epic clash between Mike and his personalities versus Mal, followed by Mike making the decision to eliminate himself, proving to Mal he's calling the shots. Mal gets defeated, Zoe takes it to her to win, and can go to the finale. She could even bring Mike back as a helper in the finale, knowing that Mal is gone. So that way, it's still them working together, if that's what you really want to see. That's just one of many ideas I have that Mal could have actually been a good villain, instead of the wasted potential we got. Nearing the end of our list, at our number 7 spot, we have Brick. The amount of wasted potential on Brick is just insane to me. He was supposed to be an All-Stars, he got cheated, he certainly deserves to come back, he saved everyone in the cave instead of winning the challenge, was a great leader to rival Joe, all of which could have taken place in All-Stars, since Joe is on the villains team and Brick is a total hero for sure, so that could have been an epic clash. I don't think I need to go too in depth with Brick, since I've mentioned why Brick should come back and win a season so many times at this point it's getting repetitive. So point blank, I'll say this. He was pretty much the definition of wasted potential. As an honorable mention, I'll include Eva. We all wanted her to be something, not just a big brute force kind of gal. They could have easily gave more to her character, but instead they don't have her compete in any other seasons besides Island. If they actually did something to her character, she wouldn't be on my Total Drama worst characters list. At our great number 8 spot, we have Justin. Boy oh boy, he had so much potential as an antagonist, especially in Total Drama action. The thing about Justin is, he didn't have much strategy. He has the looks to manipulate, but not the strategy side of things. The only major accomplishment he has is making Gwen throw challenges for him after finding out Trent has been doing the same to their team from the start. But that's pretty much it. I feel like if he actually put work on helping his team and the challenges, he could have made it a lot farther and accomplished a lot more, and made Total Drama action a lot better. That way Lindsay and Beth shouldn't call him out for, being lazy and whatnot, and they should be back up for manipulation. And World Tour or All-Stars, same thing. If they brought Justin and Alejandro in a season together, they could have made an alliance. It would have made a great duo. Overall though, with Justin, they used him more as a comical relief character. If he broke a nail, he'd basically be Ada Holt. Instead, they should have expanded more on his antagonistic qualities to make him more of a threat, not just a temporary threat until Courtney makes a return halfway. Alright viewers, that's the end of our top 8 Total Drama characters that had wasted potential on our list. Let me know what list you'd like to see next. With all that said, I look forward to seeing you with our next list.